All right, what is up, everybody? Divine Hood here, coming at you with another daily update on Bitcoin. I did just upload a video a couple hours ago, but I wanted to make another one, include some altcoins, and just give another brief update on Bitcoin. So I made a video 2 or 3 hours ago, right when we were starting this pump here. You can see that we did pump up again to the top of the channel, and you can see on the hourly candles here, 3 hours in a row, we tried to break above the channel resistance and could not. Now we are rejecting and we're coming down to our naked daily point of control that's here. Now, this naked daily point of control, I did post this in the Discord before, right after we hit into our first 5-minute candle and rejected from the channel high. But I do think, I did say it was a possibility that we could reject from this channel high a couple more times and come down to this naked daily point of control. Just because it was just opened, it's fresh and just closed, a few hours ago here and confirmed. And since we are rejecting from the channel, we can expect maybe a move down at least to this area, which is also around our big point of control of this range here. And it will do that range pull, volume profile pull. Let's do it from present day down to like the bottom of the dump. And you can see our point of control there, and our naked daily point of control is at that same area. So this area of support is what we're going to be watching for. Let's do a local fib from the lows to the highs, and our golden pocket's right in there as well. So yeah, we have our golden pocket, naked daily point of control, and our regular range point of control between 97.5 and 97.3. I'm just going to say, I'm just rounding, but that is our first local support. Now, if we lose this, you guys, we are probably coming down to this golden pocket value area low. And let me make sure I have this pulled the most correct here. Let's do that. Yeah, golden pocket value area low down here. And that golden pocket value area low is between 96,150 and 96 pretty much. That area there. Now, if we break out of the channel, you guys, I'm still concerned about this because we could make another, you can see from this momentum wave here to the lower momentum wave, that's a lower high in the momentum waves, higher high in price section. That was our 1 hour bear divs that gave us this push down to the VWAP. Well, if we do bounce here and make another high into our large point of control at 98,600-ish, and we reject from there, it could give us a third drive of bearish div on the hourly. So we could come up here real quick, do this after we bounce from this area that we're just about at, and we do something like this and hump over. You would see we'd have 1, 2, 3 momentum humps there, and then 1, 2, 3 highs as well. So we do need to be concerned about making another drive of bearish div if we do reject from our large point of control here. Now, if we break above it, we do have this resistance value area high, anchored VWAP. Liquidity grab is close by up here. I talked about this earlier in the video, so a couple hours ago. So yeah, it's just value area high, golden pocket, anchored VWAP, and we do have a SFP just a little bit above that, the highs here of that area. That's our next resistance area. And then, of course, above that even, we have our anchored VWAP and daily at 101,500 or 101,459, I'll say 101,460-ish. And then above that, that's 103 level. The value area high of the big November 11th range in confluence with our golden pocket. And specifically on Coinbase, the 0.65 of the golden pocket that we did not hit. Yeah, to the downside. Now, you guys, we are still just playing this range here, and we are still chopping around in this channel. I do expect some more low volume chop kind of sideways here. But if we cannot break out of this channel, maybe on another try or two, I do expect us at least to come down to the value area low of the range. But really, if we reject this channel again, there is a big possibility that we come down and make new lows below Sunday lows. We have to remember, these lows that were made yesterday were weakened lows. And we did break the golden pocket a little bit. We did not come to the 786 yet. So those 94,730 lows, we could take both these lows and these lows here at 94,200-ish into our 786 and see an entire move down there. Now, the 786, we can do that range pull. Let me get this range out of the way, clean up the chart. Let me do that here. Let's get rid of that. And we'll do a Fibonacci pull from the lows last Sunday to the highs that we made the Monday right afterwards. We'll put on our 786, and you can see our 786 is at 93,622. So the SFP into this area is a nice area as well. 93,622. And if we lose that, guys, unfortunately, I mean, we do have some support down here. Let's see, what was that? That was the 886. Value area low 886 was down there, I believe. So this area is our last little bastion of hope here. All right. That's about it for Bitcoin. Let's go ahead and look at our CVD again, because we want to see our updated CVD to see if anything's changed in the last few hours. Nothing overall, but I do not like how the CVD came up again here so aggressively just on that little push that we had. We had some big longs open up here. They gave us that little push up, but we couldn't even make new highs on it. And now, I mean, we still are building technically. Let's zoom out onto the 15-minute chart. And let's look here. So we got our higher lows in the making on price action. Oh, come on. 15 minutes. Here we go. Yeah, it is. Our CVD is now like flat overall, you guys, because if I take a line here, let's just take a horizontal line and let's put it on the bottom of the when we made these lows into the golden pocket yesterday afternoon. You can see I put a line on those lows, and let me make this line thinner so you guys can actually see. So you can see the line on these lows, and that's about where we're at now. So in some ways, it did invalidate our bullish CVD absorption. Now, if OI keeps dropping, then we could see that new bullish CVD absorption here. But I was afraid of this, and I was afraid earlier in the video I talked about I don't see this as a super strong absorption because of the open interest coming down here. The last few times I've seen that, it's just a trend I'm noticing that it tends to invalidate. They don't get validated quite as clearly. And now our CVD does not look near as nice either. So that is something that little concerned about here. Really, Bitcoin, if Bitcoin does not hold this naked daily point of control and golden pocket that we're at now, and it's a very local golden pocket pull. I do like the amount of wicks that we saw down here. Look at all of these wicks on the hourly. That is showing there is some buying strength near the VWAP. But now look at on the other side. Look at all the wicks to the upside here on the hourly, and then the last 3 hours trying to break the channel. We had wicks past the channel break, but we could not close an hourly candle breaking above this channel. So what that tells me is that we might see the bigger drop down to at least our bigger golden pocket and value area low between 96.2 and 96K. First things first, we play it level to level. So first we're going to look at our naked daily point of control at 97,395 to about 97,325. This is our local support right below us. If we lose that, we're going to our golden pocket value area low, or it's a high probability. I shouldn't say we're going. Should say it's a high probability we could go there. And other than that, you guys, we have our other deeper levels that I just showed you. So that's about it for Bitcoin. Not much new on Bitcoin. Now on Ethereum, I did make this. So in my video that I made just 3 hours ago, we were bearishly back testing this channel and losing the channel here. Well, because Bitcoin got that pump right at the daily close, look at where Ethereum pumped to. It pumped right to the resistance I just marked out, right in the last video, three or 4 hours ago. I drew a box between the naked daily point of control, the naked weekly point of control, and the top of the channel here. And we pumped straight into that box of resistance, our local box of resistance, and we are seeing the rejection. Not only are we seeing the rejection, but we're losing this channel bottom again, the log channel bottom again. So that is not good news for Ethereum, you guys. We did get the rejection. I did expect a rejection because it's a naked weekly point of control and a naked daily point of control. I mean, those are strong areas of resistance. So we did get the rejection that we were looking for at the local level I marked out just hours before. Now, if we do a new golden pocket pull, what we're going to do is from the lows to the new highs we just made 3 hours ago, And you can see our golden pocket is coming in right at that channel midline. So that's about 2600 to 2593. This is going to be our local support. Now, let me caution you, this is local support. There is a midline there. There's a midline there, and there's the golden pocket, but there's not much else. Because we're keep rejecting this bigger log channel, we could flush straight through this. So I would only be willing to take this if Bitcoin is not dumping, and we would have to see some local bull divs on the market cipher B. Other than that, I mean, you could wait for the bounce to happen. After the bounce, say we come down here into this, let the bounce happen, see a 1 minute change in structure, and then you could long, like, put your position into here. You'd put your stop below that low there. So that's the only way I would take this. I wouldn't try to knife catch this. I wouldn't set limits there because this could be dangerous and this could get busted through so easily. But for now, that is our local support level. Also, let's do our volume profile pull of this range, and we'll look at our volume profile. So our value area low is a little bit above that, right above that. So this is a decent area. Value area low, golden pocket, channel midline. So let's go ahead and actually make this box a little bit higher here to our value area low. All right, there we go. That's our local support. We just rejected from local resistance that I drew out earlier in today's video. Now, if we get above that, if we can break out of this channel, we do need to watch for the fake out. And the fake out would be the SFPs of these highs into the value area high. So at 2,800 to 2,820, that is our first local fake out level. If we break up into here, pay attention to volume, you guys, because especially when we're breaking the channel, see how like this volume is just decreasing the entire move. Now that does show that this is corrective price action. This whole move down has been corrective, meaning that we should make a lower high and continue higher, but that's just probabilities. But also on this move up to the upside here, after we hit our lows yesterday, it's also been corrective price action to the upside. That means that's a weak move up, and we could reject from where we did now. If our midline doesn't hold, we can come to the bottom of the channel, which would be around like 2475-ish. And let's see, we did take the liquidity already. We got that SFP. So this SFP on, let me get rid of this to clean it up. And let me turn this off. Where's that? What am I looking at? Volume. Okay. So this level here is equivalent to Bitcoin's 94.2 level. You can see that was right when we had our big wick. We had our 1, 2, 1, 2, 3 up there, 4, 5. And we did SFP it already on Ethereum. Now, if we go up to Bitcoin, you can see Bitcoin's same wick there has not been SFP'd yet. So we need to be aware that because Ethereum is hit that and saw a small bounce from it, maybe Bitcoin can come down. I know Bitcoin usually leads Ethereum, but I just want to point it out. Okay, so that's about it for Ethereum. I mean, we can look at much bigger targets to the upside. Let's zoom out onto the 4-hour chart. And actually, let's zoom out onto the daily, and let's look at weekly and daily, and we'll look at new levels if we have any new levels here. I mean, we do have this weekly up here. Let's mark it out. Weekly up here, and then let's go into the daily. And we do have a fresh daily up here. Okay, so let's check this out. Now that we got these marked out, let's zoom back in onto the 2-hour chart. Okay, I do think, remember, anytime I say we break a channel like this, you often sweep the liquidity of the entire channel, or at the very least, you'll sweep the liquidity of the second pivot of the channel. Well, look at where the second pivot is. We have second pivot liquidity resting right into our daily. So if we SFP this into our daily, this is a level that we do need to be watching as well. SFP into our daily there. So that's from 28.58 to 28.83. And I'm going to go ahead and put a box here, and we're just going to put Make it purple, and we'll put SFP into daily. Okay, so that's that level there. And then, of course, we do need to watch for the SFP of the highs of the channel as well, but there's not much else riding there. Let's look at, I think that's where our golden pocket rejected. So let's double check that here. If we go from these highs to these lows here, we put on our golden pocket. Yeah, that's where we rejected from the, or actually we front ran the golden pocket. Let's check this out. Okay, so interesting here, guys. We did front run that golden pocket. Because we front ran that golden pocket, maybe we didn't on other exchanges. I'll check that in just a second because I thought we had hit into that gold. Let's do it on this one real quick. Yeah, we do have that daily up there. And let's high to low. Okay, so it looks like on Bybit, we hit into the golden pocket. On Coinbase, we didn't. That's funny because with Bitcoin, it's the exact opposite. On Bitcoin, on this move up, Coinbase hit into the 618 golden pocket and Bybit did not. So ETH is the exact opposite. So, but I do follow Coinbase's charts more. So if I go back to the Coinbase chart, we have not hit into that golden pocket yet. And we do now have the SFPs of the highs of the channel into our golden pocket. So I do think we need to be aware of that. That's from 29.24 to like 29.87 is the 0.65. This area here is going to be an area to be watching. It is a bit not as strong though because some exchanges did hit it. So we just keep that in mind. We could bust through it. Let's do this. All right, and then yeah, we have our weekly up here. So if we break that, we might be able to come all the way up to our weekly up here. And I do believe, let's do that golden pocket pull. Low, and let's look at our 786. 786 is near the weekly. Let me check one more thing out. Okay, it doesn't change it that much. Nah, okay. Yeah, and then I'd just say the weekly up here. Okay, that's about it for Ethereum. We really need to watch. I know we're hovering right around this pink line here, but this pink line is so important. You can see how we were held as support, lost it, resistance, and now it's kind of acting as a resistance now as well. If we close this weekly, we could flush really bad. So I just want to warn about that again. I'll keep warning about that until something happens, until we either reclaim it or until we see that flush. Okay, Solana. So Solana has been interesting here. Solana did hit into, if we look at this range that's been forming since the dump bottom. So we'll do a volume profile pull since the dump bottoms. You can see we're at our golden pocket on this smaller range is also the value area low of a much, much bigger range. Let me zoom out onto the daily chart. Oh, wait, that's a naked daily point of control. Excuse me. No, it is our much bigger range. I'm confusing myself. I have so much shit on the charts. I'm confusing myself. Excuse my language. All right, so you can see on the daily chart, this big range here. Let me go to a different chart here. And let me get rid of these. Let me just hide this channel real quick. Hide this real quick. Okay, so on the daily chart, you can see we've kind of formed this W or M pattern, but I would say this is a range we could be looking at. And our value area low, let's see, I think it's a higher. Yeah, the value area low on Binance is about 201, and let's see, on Bybit it's about 195. So that's a pretty big difference there. Let's pull it just from here. Still the same. Okay. All right, guys. So a couple things to be watching. We also have our huge big daily channel that goes all the way back to 2023. We're in this channel here from 2023. And you can see both last 2 times on the daily we hit into it, we got very strong bounces. Very strong wick here, very strong wick here. So the bottom of that, now let me go ahead and zoom back in on this. Let's go to the hourly chart here. Okay. So the bottom of that channel, I have a box here for a reason. This box here is also the 886 fib pull. If we do a fib pull from these the dump lows to the dead cat bounce highs that we made, or to the impulse highs that we made, you can see our 886 is coming in right around the bottom of this channel. So, and that's about 180, 179.66 or so. I do like that. We also, if we do our smaller range pull from present day to the bottom of the dump here, okay, our value area low is way higher. I thought for some reason it was down there, but never mind on that. But we are rejecting from our value area high in here. Also, let me go back to the other chart here, and I'm going to show you a channel that I've got going on this. So we have our value area high that we're rejecting from of that same volume profile. Also, it was the golden pocket pull from the highs that we made at 220 all the way down to our new lows, our golden pocket pull. We rejected earlier today from the value area high and golden pocket. So I'm going to go ahead and delete that now, the golden pocket. But you can see we did reject from that golden pocket, and we got to move down to our bigger range value area low on Binance. Now on Coinbase, or on Bybit, it's at 195 down here. But we're hovering right around the point of control of the range here. And it's the point of control of the smaller range on Binance and the value area low of the bigger range on Binance. Let me go ahead and delete this, and let me hide this, and I'm going to clean up the charts, and I'm going to show you guys this channel that we're trading in now. So I took the pivots from this low to the next higher low, bring it up to the first high, and you can see that we've been trading within this channel, this ascending channel. We kind of rejected from the midline just a few hours ago, right when I was making that video. And we're just chopping around in this range here, right around the point of control. Same as Bitcoin, chopping around in the range. So what do we have locally here? If we do a Fibonacci pull from the lows of today to the highs that we just made, and we go to our 786. Our 786 is near the bottom of the channel here. And actually, let's look at our golden pocket. So we hit into the golden pocket already. That's where we saw the bounce from 4 or 5 hours ago. We hit into the golden pocket, saw the bounce up to the midline, rejected from the midline. So now I do like the 786 into the bottom of the channel, and that's at like 196.85. Let's go ahead and look at our Fibonacci pull from the highs from earlier today to the lows, and let's look at our golden pocket. Golden pocket here. Okay, so the golden pocket, we did front run the golden pocket, and we also front ran the midline. So at 205.5 to 205.62, we have a local resistance above us. Now, very local, just like with Ethereum and its golden pocket into its midline. This is a local resistance that if we start to see volatility expand, we can bust through this so quickly. So be aware of that. But we do have at 205.6-ish the golden pocket in the channel midline. That could be a local resistance that you could look for a scalp from if we start to reject from it just down to the bottom of the channel, or really just to take these lows down here at 199. And of course, you would wait for the rejection, put your stop above the wick that was created into the golden pocket, and then your TP1 could be at these lows here. Protect position after that, and let the rest ride just in case the channel breaks to the downside. Let's go ahead and look at, we're going to zoom out onto or let's look at our naked daily point of controls. Excuse me. Sorry, I was thinking at the same time. Now these are our naked weekly points of controls, and we do still have that naked weekly point of control up here at 235. And remember, our daily's up there as well. So from 235 to 238 is a big resistance level up here. But nothing below us as far as naked weekly points of controls. Let's look on the daily, naked daily points of controls here. And we do have that, yes. So this is still fresh because we actually front ran this naked daily point of control. So at 193.3, we do have some key liquidity from the last low. So let me go ahead and now, let me turn this off. And let me zoom in onto the hourly chart, and we're going to check out this low here. So the second pivot of the channel, remember, oftentimes when you break a channel to the downside or to the upside, you at least sweep the liquidity of the second pivot. Well, our second pivot liquidity here is into our naked daily point of control. So at 193.53, it's almost exactly the same. 193.53 to 193.33 is a local support area. If we break the channel to the downside, we could SFP into our naked daily point of control and then come back higher. And then, of course, we do have we also need to watch the liquidity of the bottom of the channel because it's pretty much a double bottom here. We actually did not take this liquidity here. You can see we front ran it with this first start of the channel pivot. So that 187 is still an area. But I do like, okay, so on the last Solana chart, I showed you the 886 into the bigger channel bottom. Now this blue line is a big ascending channel. I'm actually going to make this pink so that we stop confusing it with a pitchfork. That's the whole reason why I make my channels pink, you guys, because it's a unique color and I can tell if I see a pink line, that's a channel. Not because I like pink. Okay, so now you can see this same big pitchfork midline, pitchfork band, excuse me, pitchfork band of support is coming in around that same 886 pull. I have it on this chart as well. The same 886 pull into the band of support. It's also the bottom of our bigger channel. So 180 is going to be a definite support on Solana that I will be looking for longs. Now, we might sweep a little bit below it. Like if we break the 886, we might actually come for the lows at 175 that we made, or 176-ish. But that's about it. That's what I'm looking for next. The 193 SFP into our naked daily point of control, the liquidity of the bottom of the channel at 187, but there's not much else there, so I'm really not. If I see the confirmed SFP, I'll take it. Otherwise, I'm not interested in that. I'm far more interested in 180, this area here, 180 to 175. Now to the upside, and then of course our very local levels. I showed you guys those earlier. Resistance right above us, support below us. But you can see around the top of the channel here, we have the SFP of our Monday pump highs at 220, pretty much 219.97, 220 into the top of the pitchfork. That's this blue line here. And let me actually make this pink too, so we just don't get confused. So you can see up here, top of the channel, SFP into the pitchfork top. Now, that is a definite area, 220, the SFP of 220 into the top of the pitchfork alone is a setup that I'm watching. Now, if we chop for a bit in this channel and we line up time-wise up here, and that would have to be on Wednesday, but I would be looking for a short up here between 220 and 222, really. 221.5, I should say. That is going to be our next level of resistance here. Let's do that. This area here. Okay. And let's also check our pull here. Now, I do have older resistances above. You guys, I covered those in past videos, so if you want to check some of those out, they're still the same as in the past videos. Yeah, we did hit into our golden pocket, so that golden pocket's no longer valid, but we do have the SFP there still into the top of the pitchfork at 222, 220 to 222. But yes, naked weekly point of control at 235 and our daily at 238. That's our next big resistance. Up here, we have our naked weekly point of control up here, and I do believe there's something else there too. But the big one is between 252 and 256 here. We have a daily, a weekly, a naked weekly point of control, a naked daily point of control, and a golden pocket. This is our real big one here. So golden pocket, naked daily point of control, daily, weekly, and we also have a naked weekly point of control. I should have marked that out. That's a nice one right up there between 252 and 256. First, we got to deal with where we're at. That's it for Solana, guys. Okay, now XRP. XRP did do something that some of these other coins haven't been. Now, the channel on XRP was a bit steeper, so let me go ahead and delete this volume. Wrong one. Delete this volume profile real quick, and I want to show you guys. First of all, we have not hit up into our local golden pocket like Bitcoin has, like Ethereum has, like Solana has. So our local golden pocket above us, just above us at really it's like from 257 to 262, we have this naked daily point of control, golden pocket, anchored VWAP here, and it's a value area high of that volume profile. So if I do this volume profile poll here, you can see our value area high, SFP into value area high. Now, I would actually take these as two different trades, guys, because the SFP into our value area high, unless we see a pretty aggressive wick, I would actually do like this. Now that we see this difference here, I would do, let me delete this, the SFP into value area high and anchor VWAP. So in this box here, and that's between 254 and 256.58. That is this area. And then I would look at the golden pocket into the naked daily point of control as a separate trade. Even though they're very close to each other, I would probably get stopped out and try to re-enter a bit higher. That's just me. You could take this as one big box, depending on if you're more of a swing trader, scalp trader, what your risk management is. If you're okay doing a big box like this, where you're in looking for a long short in all of this, then do it. You know, that's good. It's up to you. But I do think between 258 and 262 is our another resistance. This is going to be GP/naked daily point of control. Okay. Now to the downside of us, or let me finish talking about this channel here. So we were in this descending channel. You could see this descending channel was pulled from this high to this lower high down to our lows here. And you can see the lows were acting as resistance or support. The midline acted as support the last time we hit into it. Saw a fake out above the channel, tried to hold it as support through all of here, but lost back into it. And now we're kind of going sideways. So I am getting rid of this channel now. It's no longer valid or useful to me. We could look at a smaller channel, kind of like on Solana, where actually it looks to me like we're trying to form a sort of triangle consolidation. So if we do our from the lows up to these highs, something like this, and we do it from these highs here down like this, you can see we have our triangle here that is starting to form. After this drop, we're starting to form a triangle in here. So yeah, I mean, you could just play this triangle if you want to, bounce in between, but just be aware of retail patterns like this, because sometimes they wick out both sides and then make a real move. But I do like, okay, so let's do that volume profile pull again, now that we got rid of that channel here. Volume profile pull. The value area low here, I do like this value area low because we do have some liquidity resting down here. So it's possible we could wick a little bit past the value area low to take the liquidity and then close the hourly candle at or above 227, the value area low there. Now, the value area high is still in this golden pocket It's pretty much right at the golden pocket at 258.72. So I do like this. Let's add value area high to this. Okay. Other than that, guys, I wouldn't be interested in too much more. What we could do now is we could pull a smaller range. You see how this is almost like a channel down. You can see this channel that we saw here. You know, just it was this here. And then we had the bottom of it, you know, something like, I should have just used the channel tool, but yeah, anyways, that's our channel there. And we broke it to the upside and we started going sideways since then. So what we can do is we can pull a volume profile of just the sideways price action. After this dump all happened here, we've been going sideways. And look how nice this volume profile is respected too. Value area low held through here. You know, tried to get above the value area high, tried to back test it, couldn't, rejected back, went back down. You know, so this is POC is holding overall pretty nice. Value area highs rejecting us pretty nice. So this value area low local on this very, very local, this is like only goes back to Friday. So it's a 3-day range. We can pull from the lows to the highs, and you can see our golden pocket is resting right at that value area low. So that's between 237 and 237.2 to 236.7. This is our very, very local support level. Now be careful, because if Bitcoin makes a move, this is not going to hold. Here we go there, and let's make it green. Let me get this right. There we go. All right, so that's that area there. Bitcoin has something very similar to that I showed you guys earlier in the video. So Bitcoin has its small range, value area low into its golden pocket. And then if we break that to the downside, like I said, this liquidity at 226 into our value area low, or our value area low was about 227, and this is at 226.4. So that's a box of support that I'd be watching. But the big one down here is our golden pocket value area low. Now let's look at that range now. So let's go from here all the way to the bottom here. So our value area low's gotten higher. So we only have a golden pocket down here now. There's not too much else down there. I mean, we do have a pretty big SFP into that area, but you'd have to see a pretty gigantic wick. So this at 213, really, what is that? 215 to 213. There's not 212. I mean, there's not much there except for a golden pocket. So be very careful trying to long this now. It's only a golden pocket. That's it. So not much other confluence there, unless we have some monthly pivot points there. No monthly pivot points either. Yeah, and then actually let's check our naked daily points of control. Nothing. We do still have our fresh naked daily at 262, but we already had that marked out. And let's go check our weeklies, naked weekly points of control. No, just what we're at right now. Nothing new. Okay, so that's about it for XRP, guys. And then let's go over one more. Let's go over Link real quick. Link did just similar to XRP. It broke out of its channel, and it is seeing follow through to the upside. Now, remember, in yesterday's video, I marked out this area, golden pocket, and it's near our channel midline. So that still is a valid area to be watching. And then, of course, we do have the second liquidity pivot of our channel that we just broke out of. Oftentimes, when you break a channel, you'll at least come up to sweep the liquidity of the second pivot. That is here at 19.86. Let's do a... And actually, this golden pocket's off now because we did make new lows. Let me go ahead and re-pull this golden pocket. So from high to low here. So that actually lines up even better, though. So the new golden pocket aligns with the channel midline much nicer now. Let's bring this down here. like this. And let's bring this up to here. So that is between 20.1 and 20.44. And then we have that SFP into that area. So this area here is going to be our local resistance area. It is the midline of the much bigger 4-hour descending channel that we've been in for like a couple months now. Now to the downside, I mean, we did have the 886 at the bottom of this channel, but now that we bounced at the midline, I'm not looking at the 886 into the bottom of the channel anymore. So first we delete the channel. Then the 886 touch, I don't like it anymore. What I like better is the SFP of the lows here into the bottom of our bigger blue channel. See, because it's starting to align time-wise. Let me grab this. If we come up here, reject from here, and then it will take us some time, we could come down here into SFP into the bottom of the channel and then continue higher. Or we could even come down into this area here, which is a major area I'm watching for a spot buy. Now that is, we have a major macro golden pocket there between 15.46 and 14.9. And we also have our naked weekly point of control in this area. This area to me is a really good level of support to be watching for possible even swing longs at $15 pretty much. So that is the next level. Now to the upside, of course, we do have that area I just showed you between, what is this? 20.12 and 20.44. If we break that to the upside, we do have our golden pocket and naked weekly point of control here. And that is between 22.77 and 23.4. This here is a 786 in point of control. Okay, so that is actually important too. Let me go ahead and pull that over. And we'll pull this over. And then, of course, this up here is still really important. Weekly, daily, channel top, value area high, golden pocket. I mean, this area here is really nice. And actually, I'm just going to include that weekly in with it now. That is from 24.8 to 26.56. I know that's a big level, but that is like the level to watch for rejection up there. 20, yeah. Whatever I just said, 24.86 to 26.52. That's our major resistance if we can make it past these smaller ones, but we'll keep the smaller ones on the chart because they are possible rejection levels. Now, guys, when I mark out these levels, you're saying, of course, you have 5 resistances. Of course, one of them is going to reject. We do not try to predict the markets. We map out where the price action could reject, where the price action could find support, and we trade what comes. We don't predict the markets. If it comes down to our first support and we have bull divs there and it looks like it's going to hold, take a long shot on it with good risk management. If it comes up to your first resistance and it busts straight through it, okay, no short there because we didn't get the reaction. We didn't see confirmation. And then say it comes up to the second one. Now you're seeing bear divs and it's starting to reject from that resistance. Okay, I'm going to take a short from here because it looks like it's holding. So yes, as a trader, you mark out your key levels on the charts of support, key levels of resistance, and you trade what you develop plans and trade whatever comes. And of course, see confirmation to enter your trades. That's how we do it here. You don't try to predict the markets. If you're going to try to predict the markets, or if you have a bias on the markets can only go one way, or you only want them to go one way. That's how you get wrecked long-term in trading. So just be aware of that, guys. All right, that's it for me for today. I got to take off. Have a good night, everybody.